The Raider bus pulled up. These guys fell off of that bus with leather coats, dark glasses, chains on. They look like some people right out from Rahway State Prison.
Welcome to Death Row.
Pride Boys.
Rocking in, and everyone just you come to a tailgate and people give you a beer.
Davis has created the most dynamic organization in sports.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to For Life, our Raider story. This is our take. I'm your host, Spicy Raider Girl, and I'm here with Mother Moon behind the scenes. What's up, Mother Moon?
What's up, everyone? Good evening. How's everyone doing?
So that was the trailer to our YouTube series. Obviously, it's For Life, our Raider story. If you hadn't had a chance to view all 4 seasons, please do so. And I want to thank everyone who participated on last night's show and tuned into last night's show. It was our Forever Oakland tribute. If you missed it, please go back and take a look. It was a fun one. We had a lot of special guests. We had Mob Boss, Raider Dirty Jers, of course, Oakland Raiders Savage, and just so many. Of course, the For Life crew.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check that out. It was in tribute, if you will, in celebration. I don't know what the right word is for the last game in Oakland. So
An anniversary. Per se.
anniversary. All right, we'll go with anniversary. I like that. All right, we are going to talk some football tonight, though, because it is do or die time, and my goodness, that is putting it lightly. So I'm going to bring on my guest co-host, Oakland Raider Savage. What's up, Savage? Savage, you're on mute, I believe.
See, we can't have these mistakes, you know. That's on me. That's the coach's fault. We have to prepare for these things, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, geez. Now you're starting to sound like Carr and Gruden.
You know, we all got to take responsibility for what's going on, and, you know, it's the coaching to the players, to the football and the field. It's all one thing, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah.
We know what you're saying. So we're going to talk about some hot headlines today. Gunther and Gruden, who's really to blame for what's happened so far this season, and was it too little too late? We're going to go over the injury report, preview the Raiders-Chargers game with a message from Lil Chucky Gruden, and then we are going to get into the playoff scenarios a little later in the show with Nevada Nick. Oakland Raiders Savage, you want to start out with some of your opinions here, and chat line as well. Let us know whose fault do you think it is to blame? Do you think it's Gunther or Gruden, or is it someone else? And was that firing too little too late? Let us know what you think in the chat. Savage?
Well, you know, since there's been a lot of coaching movements within the organization, they hired me. I am an offensive linebackers coach. They didn't really have a title for me. They said, we don't know if we want to be offense or defense. We need help on both sides. You know, be offensive linebacker coach. So, okay. And, you know, I'm out here in the field, and I noticed that we got some guys out, you know. We got Jonathan Abram, Damon Arnett, Nick Murrow. They all got their bell rung a little bit too hard in the last couple games. You know, they're going to be out through concussion. Oh, yeah. And Clelin Ferrell is out with a shoulder. And he was playing good a couple of games ago. I know it was that one play he hit somebody hard. I don't know, probably knocked the shoulder out. And Henry Ruggs, he's out injured.
He got the coot.
He got the cooties, you know, and in Vegas, you got to watch out what you touch. You know, there's a lot of things out there. Ooh, yeah.
Exactly. What's up, Scream? What's up, Thor? Thor's chiming in here. He says it's Gruden's fault, and yes, it's too little, too late. I tend to agree. It's
Trent Brown, you better start blocking better. Boston's back, okay? Come on, Brown, let's go. I don't care if you're tired. It's your own fault. Anybody's been going around the cooties also. You probably passed it on to Ruggs. Come on. Sorry. I'm over here. We're in the middle of practice.
No worries. And Mother Moon agrees as well. It starts at the top and too little, too late. So We've got two blaming Gruden here. And with that said, I tend to agree. I think the firing of Gunther is too little too late as well. And I think that Gruden's probably feeling the pressure and used Gunther a little bit as a scapegoat, like a shift blame, if you will. Because if it's not the defensive coordinator's fault, then who else do you look at? I mean, he has to look at himself, right?
Well, I'm not allowed to say this, because I'm within the organization now, but, let's keep it between me and you and all the rest of our Raider family. We all felt that Gunther had to go. We kept trying to tell Gruden, hey, Gruden, Gunther has to go. He goes, that's my best friend, I can't do it. It's like, come on, Gruden. Gunther got to go. Finally, Gruden said, all right, then I'm sorry, I'm going to do it for the nation. Gunther went. I was like, it was kind of a game or two too late, but hey, it's better late than never, I guess. Maybe we can pull a miracle off right now.
A game or two too late, maybe, but in this show, I've been hearing people complain about wanting him fired since maybe game 1 or 2.
Well, as I'm below in the rankings, I was trying to tell him to get fired a long time ago so I can move up the chart, on the coaching depth chart, But, everyone's talking about Gruden. Is it Gruden's fault or is it Gunther's fault? I mean, Gruden is the head guy. He is the head coach. He should have we were all saying it. We're all saying the defense is all out of position. We don't blitz enough. We're not aggressive on the defense side of the ball.
They often look confused, in my opinion. The defense looks confused. And so do we like the move with Marinelli taking over? Let us know what you think. Is Marinelli the right move? And do you think he'll be a permanent move? I saw a quote today that I liked from Marinelli. He said, you have to hit like a Raider. That takes no talent. It's having an attitude and a will to do that. And I like that. I like just the sound of that.
I do too.
I know we always talk about, the Raiders looking a little soft. I mean, they hit people and then they help you up. I'm like, to me, that's not Raiders football. That shouldn't really be football in general. But when I think of the Raiders being like, what do they say? People coming out of prison or whatnot, they got off that bus looking like they came. I mean, hit them hard.
Back in the 70s, they said half the players were on a work release program, So guys, hard hitters like Jack Tatum, George Atkinson, we need that kind of attitude, that kind of enthusiasm.
Yeah, I agree.
Like my boy Jonathan Abram. Abram, you cannot play today or tomorrow. You're injured, okay? You cannot play. I know you want to play. Hey, come on.
There he goes. And that brings us to another question. I mean, and again, please chime in. Tell us what you think in the chat, because I've had this discussion early on. I think I had this discussion in one of our episodes before the season even started. And is Abram playing like, I'll let you say it, because what do you think? What's the question here, Savage?
Well, the question is he playing like a legend or like a liability?
Right.
We all, us Raider fans, us Raider, in the nation, we miss those hard-hitting defensive players, especially them hard-hitting safeties. Like I said, the Jack Tatums and the George Atkinsons, the whole Soul Patrol, all them guys back in the 70s hitting hard. And Abram has that flavor, that reckless abandonment flavor.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Abram, go over.
No, and I like that. I like how he's hard hitting. He kind of doesn't give an F in a way. Like, I like that. But if he can have that attitude, but I think he needs a little more control. It's a little too reckless. And we've already seen that when he's reckless, he hurts himself and others. I mean, that's why he sat out the entire last season. But he did get beat a few times last game. I mean, it's like take calculated risks, if you will, but you can't be beat. He can't be getting beat all the time either. So I like where it's going. He's still kind of like a rookie, if you will, or like a red shirt, player, because he didn't play last season. So, there is going to be a learning curve. So maybe this year is that learning curve, and he'll improve on that in coming seasons.
Yeah, and too bad he's not going to be able to play tomorrow night with Marinelli taking over the defense. Because maybe because we don't know. Maybe it could have been Gunther.
Did you just call him a sparkling cider?
Well, hold on.
What's up, Jason Dean? What's up, Omar? What's up, Thor?
You know,
Let it
after-
wait in here. Let us know what you think. Chat line.
After Gruden made that move, we brought it out.
There you go.
I was like,
Martinelli.
Marinelli's, oh yeah. Oh, Marinelli. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me put this back over here. Yeah. We were celebrating because they said, okay, we got new direction on defense. That is our Achilles heel, is the defense side of the ball. And speaking of Abram has that heart. He has the Raider heart. He just needs a little more control. Hopefully now, I mean, we don't know what the future holds after this season. If Marinelli's going to take over, he is. I know you hate the ageism. I know he's up there in the 70s in his age. But, we might replace him with another guy up there in the 70s in the age, like Wade Phillips. We don't even know. So, but Jonathan Abram, I love his enthusiasm, and I love his, the way he wants to attack. He wants to run through the tackler, because we all were complaining last week about how come you got these guys ain't even trying to tackle people. Saw this two-hand touching everything. Guys running around, running through our defense. He just has to get a little more control, maybe with a different scheme. They know how to use him. They know how to put him in better position. Maybe make him like a strong safety where he has to mostly cover, like the tight end, like more up in the box. I know they have him back and they always use him the blitz, but maybe have him, my brother on the East Coast, Demon King, say, make him a linebacker. Make him a tweener between linebacker and safety. And I love that idea.
Write that down. Write that down.
Hold on, write that down.
So
linebacker / just like me, I'm an offensive linebacker coach. I got you, okay? Oh yeah.
So it's a huge game tomorrow. Literally the season's on the line. The Raiders need to win out, and it's a crazy game for the defense. They have not only a new defensive coordinator, but they have 4 starters out so 4 starters aren't showing up tomorrow compared to none of the defense showing up last week. So, it could go either way here.
I don't know if that's a positive or a negative. We don't know
either.
And it's on a short week also. Everything's stacked against us on the table out there in Las Vegas. But you know what? This is what we do. Just win, baby. We got to fight the odds, because I think they said that our chances are like at 23%. I don't know how you come up with these percentage. I'm not here to do math. I'm here to coach the line. Let's go. Denzel, good. I need you to block good, not bad. Let's go.
So I think we've agreed so far. So it's Gruden's fault. The defense is going to be super interesting tomorrow. And what do you say? Do you have any little bit of a preview for us, Coach Savage, for the game tomorrow?
Well, it's always, when it's a divisional game, doesn't matter what the records are. It doesn't matter anything, because the AFC West has always been that hard hitting. It doesn't matter who plays. It's going to be usually it's going to be a close game. Just like in week 9 earlier this year, when Isaiah Johnson had to knock that ball away from Donald, I don't care what his name was, because he didn't make the catch, and I was good. Isaiah Johnson came in with a game-saving defensive play. And I know the Chargers are a little upset because they keep having all these victories. They keep getting taken away from them or whatever, So the Raiders got to come strong. The Chargers could be a perfect spoiler for the Raiders. They just got done beating the Falcons.
I know.
20, I don't care what the score was. They just got done beating the Falcons, and we know what happened. The Falcons did to us a couple weeks ago. So
yes, I got to see that live and in person. Left us nothing to cheer for. So this is going to be an interesting game.
I told Gruden, I said, the 4 Live crew was out there. You owe them some money. You owe them some money. I try to put the receipt in there, for a reimbursement. So we'll see what happens.
So
I wrote it as a Trent Brown.
Gruden owes us all a refund.
Oh, yeah.
Including the popcorn we bought.
Yes. Oh, actually, on a side note, the stadium, the popcorn and soda, I think, and water and pretzels or whatever, everything was $1 in the stadium.
Was it a matinee?
$1.
Was it a matinee?
I guess so. I thought it said I assumed it said $15. Like popcorn's $15, right? In the stadium. And they're like, no, $1. I'm like, okay. Little Chucky Gruden was like, we should get 3. And I go, okay.
He did. He's so cute.
All out there, the ticket should have been $1 by the way they played.
Seriously. So tell us a little bit more about the Raiders Chargers preview we have going up here. Yeah, like you said, they could be the perfect spoiler. The Chargers are 4-9. They've already been eliminated from the playoffs, so this is just a rivalry, something to prove type of game for them. I believe they literally have nothing to play for at this point, except for spoiling the Raiders' season, which I think they would enjoy.
And that's what makes them a dangerous team because they have nothing to lose. There is no stress or pressure on the Chargers coming into our stadium. So we have to make sure that we don't fall into this trend of us playing down to our competition.
Right.
They are below us. They are beneath us. The only reason why, if you can say they're stronger than us, is because they're holding all of us up on the bottom of the AFC West, okay? That's the only reason, because they're on the bottom holding all of us up, okay? That's it. But we need to make sure that we don't fall down and play down to their level. And also, Bosa's back. So, yeah. Trent Brown, I'm looking at you, okay? You better, come on. We need you to block now, okay? We need Carr back there. Untouched, okay? Come on.
Short week, too, obviously. Short week for everybody, but so I guess that's an even playing field. But I did hear Gruden mention about how it was a short week and they hadn't really had a chance to practice full out, if I did not misunderstand what he said, which I thought was kind of interesting with the game tomorrow. So I don't know. That leads me to think, are they going to be prepared for this? Did they take too much time off? I'm not sure what that meant, or maybe I did not interpret that the right way. But yes, Mother. Mother just got excited. Did we got a delivery of popcorn to the door?
Yeah, I got a little excited. Big smile here.
Hey, what is up, Asylum? Thanks for joining. Yes, we got your boy Savage. Happy to see you.
Dick Beasley.
All caps means he's happy. That's what I'm taking that as.
I know you're excited to come back to playing football again, but Mariota is not a tackling dummy. We might need him, okay? Let's relax, all right? I love the enthusiasm, but let's relax, okay? Let's relax. Hey, they're getting fired up for the game right now, okay? I've got to calm something like Beasley. He's a new guy coming in. He's excited. He's excited for this new defensive scheme we're trying to put in. So we're calling it tackle the guy with the ball. That's what the defensive scheme is called. Tackle the guy with the ball, preferably behind the line of scrimmage. That's the play call. There you go, Beasley. I love it. Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into any more of the hot headlines, since we're speaking of the Chargers here, I have a message from Lil Chucky Gruden.
My coach.
Here it is.
Chargers are gonna lose, not win, not get a trophy, and the Raiders are gonna win.
There you go. You heard it. You heard it here. You heard it right here. Coach called it. Lil Chucky Gruden. They're not only going to lose, they're going to not win, okay?
Can't beat those odds. If you lose, most likely you're not going to win.
Right?
Max Crosby, hey, come on, okay? You're the man, right? Knock Herbert down. I need you tomorrow. Max, let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Well, if you're taking callers now, so if you have an opinion on any of these hot topics, please give us a call. Share your opinion. We are talking about who's really to blame here. Is it Gunther or Gruden or somebody else? And did that happen too late? Do we like Marinelli's new attitude where he says you have to hit like a Raider? That takes no talent. It's having an attitude and a will to do that. And is Abram a legend or a liability? Or will be, we should say, because clearly he's not a legend at this point. So will he be a legend or is he a liability?
Well, the way the
And
defenses are
what are your
playing,
predictions for tomorrow's game, tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football? Drop us your predictions in the comments. What do you think the score is going to be, Savage?
well, if I'm out there running the defense or helping out, I would say 1,000-0. But because that's probably unlikely, we're gonna go with 30. It could be close. We're gonna go with 31-27.
Okay.
There's going to be an adjustment. It's only been a few days. You know, we try to implement the defense through Madden, but some guys don't know how to play Madden. So, like me, you know, they said Nintendo 64 is a little out of date. My bad, bros. You know, I'm just trying to help coach, whatever. I don't care.
All right. 37-34. Jason Dean Hunter. I think, is this your prediction too soon to tell? I'm not sure. I think he might be talking about Abram with that, unless he's talking about the score, which I agree. I mean, it could be too soon to tell on that as well. We have a caller here, so I'm going to go ahead and get on the call line. So hold on 1 second, please. Mother Moon, she's eating her popcorn. She forgot she's the phone monitor here.
5-minute break. 5-minute break. Water break. Let's go.
What's up, caller?
Hey, this is Raider G. How are you? How's everybody doing?
What's up, Raider G? Happy to hear your voice. What is going on? Tell us what you think about some of our hot headlines.
Well, of course, it's John Gruden's fault because you know what is it that Gunther showed us in week 13 that he didn't show us in week 8.
Right.
I think what John Gruden did the same exact thing that Jack Del Rio did back in 2017.
Oh, geez. Don't get me started on no mojo.
I mean, remember when he brought over John Pagano from San Diego, and his whole rationale was, well, I brought him over here to increase the communication between the defensive backs. But we all knew in Raider Nation, you know what, he's going to be the eventual guy to succeed Ken Norton Jr. And as you know, Ken Norton Jr. was fired after the 10th game that season, and John Pagano took over for the last 6 weeks, where at least it was week 10. But like you said earlier at the top of the show, Angela, that it's a little bit too late. Week 13 and he gets fired. But
with the season literally on the line, like what a move.
You're right. And you know what? I think our season is done as far as playoffs is concerned. If you really, and you know how much I love my Raiders, but
of course,
when you're in playoff contention, the month of December, you want to be playing your best football. You want to be peaking. This is the time to peak. This is when playoff teams, really go out and play. This is why you see teams like Washington, the football team. Now they're in playoff contention. If you looked at the Cleveland Baltimore game on Monday night, those guys
what a game that was.
Tat for tat. And that was a very, very exciting game. Those are two teams that are really fighting to get into the playoffs.
Right.
If you really look,
and it looks like they were fighting to get into the playoffs. Like they had the hunger for it. Like every last play was like the best play of the game.
It was, exactly. And the way that we've been playing, I just think that our playoff hopes ended when after we played Atlanta. And we haven't looked good ever since. And just like you said, Angela, I think for the most part, we all knew that Gunther needed to go. But again, it was a little bit too late, and we'll see what's going to happen the next 3 games. I don't expect Marinelli to come out and all of a sudden the defense is going to be a top 10 defense after we play the Chargers tomorrow. I don't think that would be fair to him. I don't think that would be fair to the players. Hopefully they will play inspired. But we'll see what the next 3 weeks brings. If the defense plays significantly better, I think he'll be retained. If not, then I think we'll look elsewhere.
Yeah. Okay. So he's got a 3-week trial. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. He has 3 weeks to pretty much determine if he's going to be our full-time coordinator next year. But yeah, I think that, and I hope I'm wrong, but I honestly, I think that our playoff hopes are gone because
Yeah.
There's a lot that has to happen. You know, we have to rely on other teams winning and losing, and then we have to win out. And it's just
it's too much. Yeah, we're gonna have Nevada Nick come on and tell us the remaining scenarios, and they are becoming fewer by the day. So we will love for you to weigh in on that. Well, thank you for your call, Raider G. We always appreciate your insight. I love hearing your voice, and thanks for being part of our show.
Hey, always love your show. Thank you for accepting my call.
Of course.
I don't know if I said hi to you, Raider Moon. Raider Savage, hey, how you doing? But anyway.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was in the middle of practice too.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right.
I kind of like that whole Raider Moon or Mama Savage. There's something there.
I kind of like Raider Moon. Maybe there's something there.
Maybe there is.
Like Mama Savage is in shirt
Like your
too
Mother
tight.
Moon on like the off days, and then you turn into like this
that
Raider Moon, like when
moon.
like when there's a full moon on a Sunday, you become a Raider Moon. I think we might be onto something.
Going up to this whole defensive coaching change. You know, it's like we watch these games and we try to figure out, is it just that are they just out of position, or are we just not being aggressive?
They look confused. They always seem to look confused to me.
I mean, they always look confused when they're spinning around trying to figure out who has the ball, and then before you know it, the guy's in the end zone and we're chasing them.
They're still like,
it wasn't me. It wasn't me. You know, that's why we're trying to fix that over here, trying to make sure we don't continue that bad, these bad trends and these bad, just bad play. Bad play.
That is right. Well, thank you so much, Oakland Raiders Savage. You are going to be back later in the show, but for now, we are going to get Nevada Nick on for Nevada Nick's picks.
Hold on. I got to go in there, okay? Let's go, guys. Let's do this.
Ready. All right. Thank you, Oakland Raiders Savage. He's suiting up because the Raiders clearly can't do it on their own. I saw this really witty tweet earlier. Someone said, I like how all these grown men sitting on their couch, complain on Twitter on how to play football. If you think you can do it, then go do it. And the response was so witty. It was so good. He said something like, this was about the Raiders, of course. He said, if not knowing the plays, being confused, missing tackles, and being burned by the other team means play like athletes, I can surely do that. Don't quote me exactly, but it was something like that. I thought it was hilarious. We are going to have Nevada Nick is up now. Nevada Nick, what's up? Thanks for joining us.
What's going on, Angela?
Hey, is that an Eagles hoodie that you're wearing there?
It might be. Yes, it might be.
I'm going to have to send you some Raider swag for this show.
Well, like I said earlier, you're slowly taking me over to the dark side. There's no doubt about it.
Yes. We're getting there. Jason says, you know what Jason says? I don't even need to say it.
Did he say we're slowly taking him to the dark side?
He did.
Well, come on over.
Come on over. So, Nevada Nick, give me your insight. I've been excited to talk to you all day about this because you are slowly converting here. And I think the Raiders, I heard you say, is now your alternative team. I don't know if that's like 100% yet, but I mean, you've been following the Raiders very closely this season. So what do you make of some of our hot headlines?
Look, it's when the defensive coordinator got fired, the first thing I thought was Gruden was shifting blame, basically.
Yeah.
Because it's something that should have been done weeks ago. Even before the Falcons game. But to me, how the Falcons game wasn't the one where you said, okay, we need to make a change.
Like he should have been finding his own flight home from Atlanta, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And look, Marinelli, I've seen Marinelli coach a long time in Dallas. You see what that defense is this year? Well, in previous years, Marinelli was there. And it wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible either like it is now.
Yeah.
So he at least, like I said, the expression, he made chicken salad out of chicken you-know-what, So maybe he can come and run a better scheme with the Raiders. They do seem confused. They seem out of place. And I know they're young, and that's part of it. But you need to coach these kids up, and they need to learn from their mistakes. And by this time in the season, these mistakes shouldn't be happening. You're in
Right.
November and December, and that's what, to me, if I was a Raiders fan, it would be so disappointing if they were playing hard and it was these close games and they were leaving it on the field. It would be one thing, but what they've put on tape the last 3 weeks is
That's falling apart.
I saw that happen in like slow motion too. It was good.
George is over the Raiders. He's like, I'm
I
out
don't
of
think
here.
he can't take it either. He just jumped off the bridge.
Sorry, continue.
No, but yeah, if it's very disappointing what they put on film the last 3 weeks, and when you think about 6-4 last year, and maybe a little bit last year, they were a little ahead of schedule, but this team is good enough, and the defense has let it down, let them down. The offense has let them down, and like I said, to me, it's on Gruden the most than anybody. I mean, he's the one who had
that. I think he knows that, right? He knows that, and that's why this shift blaming, like you said, and I agree with you, is coming, is happening, or happened.
Well, and like I had said to you before too, I just think they're so tied into Gruden. Because to me, if I'm the owner, I don't think you get rid of Gruden this year. But next year, definitely, it would be almost playoffs or bust. Unless something crazy happens, Derek Carr gets hurt. I don't want to say him, but, something where there's a good excuse for the reason not to make the playoffs.
I mean, they signed Gruden for so many years.
10 years, $100 million.
Right? Yeah. And, I mean, do you want to talk a little bit about the cap space and kind of the situation the Raiders could potentially be in next season?
Yeah, so as of right now, they are over the cap by $7 or $8 million. But, you release a Trent Brown, who has no dead money next year. You make a couple moves that can change, but they're not going to be making, I don't think, any big splashes in free agency. They may get a guy or two, but there's not going to be any big splashes, and they're going to need to hit their draft picks. And I think, as you can see, they need a lot of draft picks for defense. I mean, I think I would draft every round with defense.
What's that?
I think every round would be defense if I was.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, and that's unfortunate in my opinion. Like it's a bummer they don't have the money to just go and get someone who's like good and reliable and with good numbers, who's proved themselves. I mean, the draft is always, you never can tell, right? The draft picks always, sometimes they're great and sometimes they're not. So to kind of defending on your defense improving with draft picks is a little concerning, I think.
I mean, and draft picks are pretty much a 50-50 proposition. They could trade like a first round pick to get a player. I'm always about that. To me, you're trading an unknown commodity for a known commodity. I know like the Eagles, they traded a first round pick to get Jason Peters from the Bills. Jason Peters ended up being a 12-year stalwart and left tackle for us. So if it's the right situation, I don't mind that. Teams seem to covet draft picks so much. And to me, if you can get a really good player for a first-round pick, I'll take that over, look at Farrell, the defensive end. He's been inconsistent. And Abrams, the best ability is availability, and he hasn't been on the field a lot. I do think there's a lot of talent there, but, you got to play. You got to see it. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but it's a huge offseason for the Raiders this year.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the game tomorrow. I mean, we all know how the last game went against the Chargers. I mean, it literally came down to the very last play with, I believe there was only 1 second left. And they barely pulled that one out. And for the entire season to be on the line with the defense right now, not only suffering just throughout the year, but with all of the injuries and now a new coordinator. I know Marinelli's been around, so it's not like, he's brand new to the team or anything like that, but still he's working with a new set of guys, really. It's been, and I get it. It's like these injuries have gone on every team. The Chargers have injuries as well. Everyone in the NFL does, but the Raiders haven't had a consistent lineup like at all. I mean,
no, and that's tough. When you hear 4 defensive starters out, doesn't make you feel any better either,
Right.
And it's, I mean, look, your chances aren't done though. As we talked about playoff scenarios, I looked into them. A lot of people, from what I've heard, I look on like Raiders pages and stuff. It's a lot of, think they're done. And look, the chances are low right now. They said Oakland Raiders Savage said it was 23%. That's what I saw. But if they win all 3 games, it's really considered 88%. Now, I know we're talking about them winning 3 games, but I really think...
Yeah, see, that's tough, too, because not only do they have to win 3 games, they have to rely on other teams not to succeed as well.
Right. No, and that's the truth. But I think 2 of them are winnable. I think the game that you're going to be in Vegas with the Dolphins, that's going to be the toughest game. I really think they're going to struggle. I don't think it's a good matchup for them. Just like I said, the Colts, the Raiders are going to struggle with balanced teams, especially ones that have good defense, because the good defense can kind of slow down their offense, and then you're needing your defense to hold a team to less than 28 points, and they haven't been able to do it all year. And that's pretty much been the issue.
Right. And you mentioned the Miami game. I selfishly hope that the Raiders are still in contention for that game, just because I'll be out there in Vegas, and it would be nice to be able to cheer for them, knowing that they still have a chance, instead of kind of being in that atmosphere, knowing they're just playing a game. Even though we can't go to the game, there's still a different feel. You know what I mean?
Right. And look, a team you're going to be following the next 2 weeks that's big for the Raiders is the Giants. Because the Giants,
know, how crazy is that? And they have the playoff hope. What?
Which is good for you, because then they're playing for something. So the Giants play the Browns this Sunday night, and that's a big game for you guys, because if the Browns somehow lose that game, then they need to just lose one of the last 2. Now, they play the Jets, so they're probably not going to lose that, but they do play the Steelers the last week of the season. So that's a very losable game. So if the Browns do lose to the Giants, it opens a door for you guys. That if, like we said, if you went out, they could lose 2 games. You just need the Ravens to lose a game. You would need the Colts to just lose out, basically. You went out, Colts lose out. And then the Titans, you would need to lose 2 games. And look, their last 2 games, they played the Lions this week without Stafford, so that's they're going to win that game. But they do have to play Green Bay next week in Green Bay. Green Bay's playing for the number 1 seed in the NFC. And then they end the season at Houston, which, Houston's not great, but when you have a quarterback like Watson, you never know. He could win you a game. So there's chances out there.
Well, and aren't the Jets are still due for that 1 loss, right?
I mean, 1 win? Yeah.
For that 1 win, yes. For that 1
money on what losses.
I know. I was watching SNL, so I think that they still have a chance for the Super Bowl,
Look, you would hope that if you're in a locker room where you're 0-13, you don't want to be one of those teams that doesn't win a game like the Lions did. Yeah. You would hope pride would come in, and you don't want to be one of those. I think it's only the Lions. They're the only team to never win in a 16-game schedule. So you'd be one of 2 teams that went winless. So I would hope that you're going to come out with some pride and try to win a game. But they got a tough schedule. I mean, their best chance is going to be their last week. They play New England. In New England, week 17. That's probably going to be their best chance. They got the Rams this week and the Browns next week, 2 playoff teams that need to win, so it's going to be tough games for them to win.
We'll see. I am a New York fan. I'm a Jets fan. I'm a Giants fan.
So that's like I said, hopefully it plays out. Like you said, hopefully the Raiders come out tomorrow, handle their business. And then, obviously, the big game of the weekend. I mean, whoever plays the Ravens is going to be big because, I don't think it's going to happen this weekend. But still, like I said, the Ravens play the Giants as well. That's the other game that the Giants are going to be big for you next week. So you got to hope the Giants win one of the 2 games the next 2 weeks.
Yes. I will be rooting for Coach's team for the next 2 weeks. That is for sure. I might even be sporting some swag. Shoot, that's how badly we need it.
I'm rooting for the Giants myself too, because I actually bet the Giants to win the NFC East.
All right, thanks for all that insight. I am taking my notes here, which games to watch and which games to pay attention to, because they basically are wearing silver and black in a sense. I was saying about the Browns-Ravens game. I was like, this is the biggest game of the Raiders season, and they're not even playing.
It was a big game, and it didn't go your way. I know Mother Moon, you would message me, and it did look. He had to actually answer that question after the game with Lamar Jackson, that he had that walk. You know what I mean?
Oh, and
He did say after the game he didn't have a Paul Pierce moment. If you ever heard about the Paul Pierce story against
did someone ask him
Lakers.
about that, or
Yes,
he
they
just said
did.
it?
Yes, they did. No,
Oh, how
they asked
funny!
him, and he said I didn't have the Paul Pierce incident
So
because
Mother Moon called it.
yeah, it did look like that too because Paul Pierce got wheeled off in the finals against the Lakers the one time, and he ended up admitting last year that it wasn't he was hurt. He had to, let's just say, go to the bathroom.
Oh, hilarious. Hilarious. All right. Well, thanks for that insight. I did not hear about that. You want to switch gears a little bit and give us some of your picks for the week?
Yeah, sure. No problem.
He just
Okay.
had that run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I couldn't believe when it was so weird because he didn't come back, and they had the 2 series and then their quarterback gets hurt.
Did he, or did he need some time for him to finish his business in the locker room?
That's very possible. But as
That's
soon as
what
the
I
other
thought.
guy got hurt, here he comes sprinting out. And
Right. He's like, we need more time to get him out here. Like, lay down, quarterback.
And it
Because
was
it didn't
4th
look
and
like
5.
anything really happened.
Yeah, and it was 4th and 5, and he makes the play, and the Ravens end up winning. So
Right.
it is what it like I said, crazy. It was a good game though. I'll say that.
It was a good game.
Okay, so my first pick, I'm going to give out tomorrow night's game, not the actual game, the total. So basically the points scored by both teams, it's 52.5. I love over. Last game was 57, and they didn't score much late. By halftime, I think they had scored almost 45 points. It was high scoring in the first half, slowed down the second half. But look, 4 Raiders defensive players out. Chargers defense really isn't that great. They gave up 45 points to the Patriots offense 2 weeks ago, which their offense isn't impressive. So I think you're going to see a lot of scoring tomorrow. I think the game goes over 52.
Now this pick concerns me because we know the Raiders give up like 30 plus points a game. So that doesn't leave too many other points on this board here. So it seems like you're predicting a Raider loss.
No, I don't. I think the Raiders are going to score on them too. I really do.
Okay.
Look, with 4 starters out, it's like I said, I wouldn't bet on the game, but if I had to pick it, I would take the Raiders, and I would take the Raiders -3 if I had to. I think they're going to find a way to. And I feel like a broken record right now, like I'm saying this every week. But yeah, I think they're going to find a way to win this game. Short week, Chargers coming off a win. I think they're going to find a way to win the game.
All right.
And I think Marinelli's going to help too. I really do. I believe that. I think you're going to see a little, not huge, but I think you'll see a little bit of improvement on defense this week and hopefully more, the rest of the season. So then my next game, I'm going to Miami, and this line makes no sense to me. I'm going to take the Dolphins -2 at home against the Patriots. Patriots just haven't impressed me. Dolphins coming off a good game against the Chiefs. Yeah, they lost, but they played the Chiefs really well. I really like the Dolphins. I think they're a very consistent team. I mean, they started 1-3, and here they sit 8-5. So they've been 8-2 down the stretch here, playing good football. And their 2 losses were both close games. They play hard every week. I really like the Dolphins, so I'm going to take the Dolphins -2.
Okay.
And then my next game is obviously the game of the week, Saints versus Chiefs. A possible Super Bowl preview. These are, 2 what I think is the best team in the NFC.
How ironic is that? Can I just stop you for a second and mention how ironic that is? Because the Raiders beat both of those teams, and now you're predicting they're the Super Bowl contenders, and the Raiders are fighting for a playoff spot.
These are the 2 teams I picked in the preseason to make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
okay.
Yeah, and I still think it. I think they're the 2 best teams. So, but the Saints are getting 3.5 points at home. The Chiefs haven't covered in 5 games. They've won the last, I think, 3 or 4 games, all by 6 or less. A lot of close games. I think the Saints are going to come and win this game outright. There's some talk, Breeze practice today. He might play. I still don't think he ends up playing, but I just have a feeling the Saints coming off that bad loss to the Eagles are going to bounce back this week and beat the Chiefs.
All right.
And then my last game, I'm going to the Giants, Browns Sunday night. Giants getting 5 points. I think it's going to be a close game. You got 2 teams both playing for their playoff lives. Browns have a good chance to make it. Obviously, they need to win a game or 2. Giants, they need to probably win 2 of the last 4. Redskins have Seattle this week, tough game. So, but I think the Giants are going to keep it close at home. against the Browns. Browns played Monday night, short week. So I'm going to go with the Giants +5 on Sunday night.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you for that, Nevada Nick. Thank you for being on the show. It's always good to hear your insight. You're so knowledgeable on all of these things. And go New York football teams.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Mother Moon.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good
Good
evening.
night.
All right. We are going to take some callers now, and we are going to bring Oakland Raiders Savage back in here. Oakland Raiders Savage, what is up?
So don't tell Gruden, but I knocked that Mariota. So
Perfect. We have a caller on the line, so we are going to take the call from Jared with the Pittsburgh Report. Jared, what is up? I see. Hey, Jared. There you are. I hear you. Jared, so good to hear from you. I wished you a happy birthday yesterday, of course, but I want to wish you a happy birthday again. You celebrated your birthday yesterday. I hope you had a great evening. And what do you have for us tonight with the Pittsburgh Report, my friend? Snow. Because you know where my mind was. I was like, that doesn't spell bleep. That makes for interesting New York football that we were just speaking of.
College football bowl games being canceled left and right. Of course, one of them that was supposed to be on Saturday now is not going to happen. Instead, however, the first bowl game will be on Monday in Myrtle Beach. However, Myrtle Beach. Yes. But, other than that, it was National Letter of Intent Day today for some schools. However, I have not seen the top 10 rankings, who finished in the top 10. But, like I said, with the Bulls just around the corner, however, and the conference championships coming up this week, the ACC, the SEC, which is going to be a huge game on Saturday night. I'm looking forward to that game. The Big 12 on Saturday afternoon, the Big 10 Saturday afternoon. It is conference championship weekend, and bowl season is just around the corner.
All right. And did you have any predictions on that?
What's that?
Do you have any predictions on bowl season?
I think we're going to see, obviously Bama's still the team to beat. Notre Dame's got Clemson this week. You know Clemson is looking for payback after the last time they played. That is going to be a very fun game to watch Saturday afternoon in Charlotte. Can Clemson get it back and even the score and hopefully make it one apiece, rather than Notre Dame take a 2-0 lead? Now, the question is this. If Notre Dame loses, does this bump Georgia up? Does this bump some other teams up some spots? We'll have to wait and see.
All right. And Jason Dean is in the chat line, or at least he was. You know, his team is Notre Dame, so he
first year ours, but they've played no one tough yet this year.
Ooh.
You know, they got lucky the last time they played Clemson. I will say this, it will be a good game on Saturday, but I hate to burst your bubble, my friend. I think Mr. Lawrence is a little payback this time, and being close to Clemson, however, Clemson's going to have the home field advantage a little bit this time, unlike last time in South Bend. So it's going to be a fun game Saturday. There's no doubt about it. I'm looking forward to that because the thing I don't get is they could have put this game in prime time on ABC and bumped the other game, which is Tulsa and Cincinnati, to the mid-afternoon, but they said, no, we want to do it on Saturday night. Well, guess what? The SEC is still going to kick their teeth in with the ratings of Alabama and Florida on Saturday night.
Oh, interesting. Well, thank you for that. Always great hearing from you, Jared. We are wrapping up towards the end of the show here. Do you have any other insight for us?
Well, I'm going to say this now. I think the Raiders are going to win tomorrow night. I'm predicting a good win. I think they're going to get back on, coming out swinging Howard Carr, and Jacobs got to do their thing tomorrow night. I mean, last week it was tough losing to Indy. Like I said, they cannot afford a setback here at home. And they cannot look ahead to Miami, obviously, the day after Christmas. So the Raiders get a little pre-Christmas gift and keep their playoff hopes alive here somehow, some way. And I think they're going to win 31-14.
Ooh, that's an interesting prediction. That's a new one. I haven't heard that one. And I so hope you're right. Like I was saying, we are going to be in Vegas, myself, Mother Moon, and Oakland Raiders Savage for the 26th game. So I'm just hoping that at that time their playoff hopes are still alive, because it's going to be a lot more fun in Vegas if we can actually root for them.
Christmas Day on Fremont Street, Howard, and have a good time. I wish I was with you guys out there and get away from this wicked weather, but I will have a future experience, but I will be watching next Saturday night that game against Miami in the Battle of Two and Mr. Carr.
And tomorrow night, right?
Yes, and tomorrow night too. Yes, of course. We might have one tomorrow night too. Yes.
Yes. All right. Jared, thank you so much for calling. We always appreciate your insight.
Thank you, Jared. Stay warm out there.
I'll talk to you guys hopefully before you guys. Are you guys going to be on next week before Christmas, or are you guys going to be preemptive?
Thank you for reminding me. We are actually doing a Tuesday night show next week ahead of the Lakers opening game. So we'll be Tuesday at 5 p.m.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Lakers, Howard, I mean, the Lakers, I'm saying it right now, mark my words. Champions again.
Three-peat, baby. I'm calling three-peat.
Yeah, I think so. I think the Lakers have been my boys since the days of Magic, and I think the Lakers got the first to win the West again. I really do.
Yes, thank you for that. Yeah, so tune in next Tuesday, 5 o'clock, because or is it 5? What time's the game? Let me think. It'll be an out. The game's at 7. Yeah, so we'll be on regular time, I believe. And we're going to have Chip Sharon back. He is the Lakers insider that we had on for the Kobe tribute.
And you know who you should also try to maybe get if you can too, and I know it's probably tough to get. Try to get Ramona Shelburne. I know for a fact Ramona's one of the better writers in town. I know she's a big Laker admirer, and I know Bill Plaschke at the Times is a good writer too, because my buddy's friend who lives out in Cali knows Plaschke very well. She lives in Santa Monica.
Oh, awesome. Thanks for that, Jared. I will definitely follow up with you on that. Well, you have a very good evening, and thank you for your call.
Happy birthday, Jared.
All right.
Thank you,
Bye.
Jared. Have a good night.
All right. All right, Oakland Raiders Savage. You have anything else for us before we get into some plugs here?
Well, I was hearing the conversation between you and Jared, and you said 3-peat for the Lakers, but I'm just going to put that right there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They blew their opportunity for a 3-peat, and I don't see it happening, at least not anytime soon.
We're going to go for number 4. 4 in 6 years.
Okay.
Wait.
All right. Would you like to place a friendly wager right here, right now, live on the YouTube?
You're not taking my car this time.
All right, maybe next time. That's hilarious. All right, well, I just want to do one more time, since we are wrapping up here, in case there's anyone who wasn't on earlier. I do want to go ahead and give this message from Lil Chucky Gruden.
Chargers are gonna lose, not win, not get a trophy, and the Raiders are gonna win. Raiders!
Woo, that is my little dude right there.
Are you fired up?
Fired up. He fired up. We're going to win tomorrow. You heard it.
I'll give him
Chargers are going to lose, and they're not going to win.
And they're not going to win.
Right here. That's my coach.
Exactly. All right. Well, last night on our show, if you missed it, circle back and check that out. That was our Forever Oakland tribute, and we had several special guests on there, including Mr. Nicely Seasoned. And I am going to put his website up here in case you want any of his gear. Go check that out. He has some fun stuff on his website. So there is the site that you will go to. Also, I want to mention that the calendars are still available. I think we have one. But, you know, I'm sure you've seen that. If you don't have one, reach out to Mob Boss, Dirty Jers, or Lil Chucky Gruden, and the proceeds go to a charity of their choice. And I believe they're all different charities. I don't remember which charity everyone's is. And also reach out to Mob Boss if you want the first edition of the Raider Nation magazine, because the second edition is coming out. Is it next week?
It's postponed a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, he's going to have the first edition for half off.
There you go. First edition, half off. So if you don't have it, make sure to pick that up. And also, the homies are having a toy drive. They have been having it. Tomorrow for the watch party at Tommy Rockers will be the last day to drop off toys. So if you're going to that watch party, make sure to bring a cute little toy to drop off. And they will be delivering, I think, on Friday, correct?
I believe that's correct.
All right. Well, Savage, thank you for joining tonight. I liked the coach's insight. Coach Raider Savage tonight.
Offensive linebackers coach.
There
Raider
you go.
Savage.
My bad. Offensive.
They wanted me to drop the Oakland, but I said I can't do that right now. That is my first name. I can't do that right now. So the Vegas people in the airwaves know it's Oakland Raider Savage.
All right, here we go. Listen, I love this. Look, we're lining up guests for next week or the week after or whenever you want. You can come on anytime. Oh, do you mean last night? Maybe he's talking about last night. Oh, I don't know if you mean this show or last show, but you're always welcome, Asylum. Just hit me up.
And Asylum knows about tailgating. Asylum knows about tailgating. He was out there doing it for like about 6-7 years.
I know. I saw both of you guys out there the last game. I saw both of you. You came off the BART ramp and you went to the right. We were right behind you. You were hobbling, with your little cane, but you had some like swag going on with your hobble. I saw you guys.
Because it's Oakland swag, I had to have that little pimp walk right there, Yeah.
Definitely. That is a good way to call it. All right, Savage. Well, when we go out, we got to go out one way and only one way.
Our story. Yes, I represent the nation. Our story. Yes, I represent that nation. Our story. Raider Nation. Our story. That's right. And I'm with Spicy Girl and that Mother Moon. La Familia. My Thor and a Quiet Q. Super Hood. Omar. On the grill. And the B-Lot. 3 amigos. 4 brothers. Mr. Nicely seasoned. With some mariachis without seeing Raider. Representing just like the beginning Oakland Raider. Darlene and the Raider home. What about Little Chucky Gruden, my boss. Black Eyes. We're tailgaters. And it began on an autumn day. Right here in the OAK. California dreaming in that Golden State. Alameda County right here in the Bay. And you could find me on that east side, yo. Representing that east side, oh. But no matter what, we represent the shield. Just like Anna in the band club Emeryville. Dedicated to the nation. Our story, our story. Dedicated to the nation. Our story, our story. Dedicated to the nation. Our story, our story. Raider Nation. Our story, our story. Yo, representing silver and the black, Mr. Matter of Fact, yo, is here. Without showing any pity from Oakland to Los Angeles to Vegas, all the way to Mexico City. And I represent that nation. Our story, our story. Yes, I represent the nation. Our story, our story. Yes, I represent that nation. Our story. Raider Nation, our story. Right. Yo, this is my story and I represent it with the pride and the poise commitment to that excellence. I represent with noise. This is how I do it. The silver and the black, and I come into the track and I represent it. Matter of fact. And I'm cruising around with Hollywood Raider all around the town, and I just found out Raider Savage on the interstate. Raider de la Baja, yeah, órale. live. So get over here, cause we representing now. And that I don't win is a favorite. The I don't win is a breeze. The I don't win is a race. Dedicated to the nation. Our story, our story. Dedicated to the nation. Our story, our story. Dedicated to the nation. Our story, our story. Nation. Our story, our story. Yo, representing silver and the black, Mr. Matter of Fact, yo, is here. Without showing any pity, from Oakland to Los Angeles to Vegas, all the way to Mexico City. And I represent the nation. Our story. Yes, I represent the nation. Our story. Yes, I represent that nation. Our story. Raider Nation. That's right, Mr. Matter of Fact is here.